intro.
Yeah, no intro. We don't need an intro, do we? We don't need an intro.
Sorry, Pete.
I was eating the cashew nuts. I need a fucking intro. It could have been.
I was under one of them curly hair dryers, perms, waiting to get my hair sorted. That's why we had to wait so long.
I'm disappointed, Mick, because I did make it a stipulation that you had to get that hair cut.
Yeah, but I also told you to fuck off. I'm growing it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Stop fucking growing it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Stop fucking eating, mug.
Fucking cashew nuts, you moron. Look. Fucking top of the range.
Do you ever have pistachios, John, or is that too much like hard work because you've got to shell them?
Too much hard work, all the shells. I can't bother. You know what? With pistachios, in the end, when I can't get the shell off, I just pop it all in my mouth.
This is
shellfish.
Do you know what? This is a week, right? That's a big tub. They're pistachios. And I have the shelled ones because otherwise I just shovel them in my mouth.
Oh, shit, sorry.
You know, that kind of slows me down, but I still go through loads of them. Just not on screen, John, because I'm professional.
Happy birthday.
I'm not professional. Look, I'm wearing my fucking salmon t-shirt. Like a big fish.
Whose birthday is it?
I've gone past that now. Sorry. I did happy birthday, Matt. Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
Mate, we ain't going live. We don't do birthday wishes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I know. Right. Well, look, I'll tell you what. There isn't really much in the way of news, and there ain't no exclusives. All we know is that West Ham are going to be talking to a few managers in the next week. Don't mean that anything's going to happen. We know that Ruud van Nistelrooy is rumoured to be on that list. We know that Allegri is going to be on that list as well. So we're going to find out. Now, I'll tell you what. I kind of convinced myself that the best time to get rid of a manager, if they're going to do it, was now, because there's an international break.
No.
But then that kind of goes against what I said a few weeks ago, which was about a soft landing period.
Yeah.
After Arsenal, you've got Leicester. Probably the right time to bring a new manager in is at that point, isn't it? Not with Newcastle and Arsenal.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it makes sense when you bring a new manager in. I think it's all about timing. In the main, it's all about timing. And you would be right in looking for, a schedule that maybe, as you say, is a soft landing. Do you know what I mean? I think it makes perfect sense. But the only thing with that is, what if he wins the next two? Then it all changes again, doesn't it?
There you go. Unless they've already made it. Would I haven't made a decision? I know that much. And they
right,
won't until the right last minute anyway. Hello, Lee. Shout out to Jared. Oh, he scored. Did he score tonight?
He come on against Ireland and scored first touch.
No way. Was it a decent goal?
Yeah. It was a good finish. Yeah, I was down the Harold Wood Cricket Club with a legend called Neil Steer, who's a Harold Wood number 9, and he's one of the top scorers back. Yeah, he's a really good player, he reckons. Yeah, it's all talk though.
Yeah, but you said you was a good player back in the day as well, though. You know,
Nick, you saw me play, Nick. You know I was a good player. I don't know what you're on about. We know one thing: you wasn't a good player, don't we?
I was right foot, mate. My right foot. I was a Milan Perlo. But yeah, so look, going back to the manager, and so it will be a soft landing. Look, I'm still not convinced that they're going to fucking do anything at this point. I know that they're talking to managers. That doesn't mean they're going to do anything. It don't, because they always do. They always do talk to managers in these periods. Can they keep him though? If we do get hammered, like against, I don't know, Newcastle and Arsenal, at that point you can't really, can you?
No,
can you risk it?
No, I think the thing is with those games is you would not expect us to lose, but if we lost, you wouldn't be surprised. But if they're hammerings, then there's no way back.
Yeah.
There's no way back. No. And to be honest with you, look, I'm not being negative, but with the pace that Newcastle have got in their team, I think we could see a hammering. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm going to that game, to be honest with you. You can't. A lot of people saying go get Potts. They do know he's signed with the USA until after the World Cup. We can't go and get him if we wanted to.
Oh, was he really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's on a fortune. I think he's become the highest paid. I think he's become the highest paid international manager currently. He's literally signed a contract till after the World Cup. John Robert Osborne.
Good.
Lewis Steer, well done. It's one of Freddie's schoolmates. Yeah. Less said about him, the better.
So talking about the managers that we're linked with, then, if you just look at it with a broad sweep, I don't know anything about this Stuttgart bloke. I don't even know what his name is. But you got him. And the ones that we know that he's heavily linked now, because there's been a couple of articles about him, is that Terzic.
Terzic out of work. Ruud van Nistelrooy out of work. Yeah. Allegri out of work. And who's the other one?
The interesting one is De Zerbi. I don't think there's any chance of that. There was an article saying that De Zerbi would cancel his contract if there was a better offer on the table somewhere.
Well, did you not hear what he did in one of his team talks?
No.
Oh,
apparently he showed him a contract offer that he's had from another team. Now, whether it was fabricated or not, I don't know. But
no, he didn't.
He did, but I think he was lying to them to try and motivate them, saying, "Look, I could go elsewhere." But apparently, he hasn't gone down well with the team. Some of the team, apparently.
Wait, who are you talking about?
De Zerbi.
De Zerbi.
At Marseille, isn't it? At Marseille. So,
I must say, he's good.
I don't even know what that is, Mick. What was
that? I must say, he's good manager.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on, for fuck's sake, now.
Just do the comments, mate. Just do the comments.
Just do the comments, Mick. Fucking hell.
I'm comedy gold, son.
I think De Zerbi, though, he's one that because I'd like him. I'd like De Zerbi, but I've heard a lot about him.
He deserves his chance.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But he's
not being funny, Mick. Nick, I'm going to say something now. Seriously, I'm being honest with you now. He's just randomly shouting things out, right? We could get this geezer in who looks exactly the same as Mickey to do what he's doing.
That is literally your aim, Mick.
Wait, he can't say pew pew, so that's fucked it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's long gone, mate. That's done. Yeah,
the pew pew's gone. Go on, Mick. Go on, Mick.
He makes more noise than you.
No,
sorry. Go on. You can say. I love a little dead joke.
Out of them managers, you take De Zerbi, of course you would, but I don't think he's going to be leaving Marseille yet.
Stevie Bill.
15 months.
For me, Ruud van Nistelrooy is an interesting one. You know, I liked the way that he carried himself in that short time at Man United.
Yeah.
You know, when he took that job as his assistant in the summer, there's no doubt in a million years he knew the pressure Ten Hag was under. He probably thought, if I go in,
he'd get a chance. He'd get a chance,
right? And the fact he hasn't got a chance, he could have come out and fucking ranted and raved and all that. But he's held himself with decorum. He looks good. He dresses well. He's worked under some of the best managers, right, in history. Ferguson's a name but one.
Yeah.
I'm not adverse to Ruud van Nistelrooy. I'll be keen.
Well, the thing is, right, especially with the timing of it as well, because you imagine Ruud van Nistelrooy. I reckon he's secretly pissed off that Man United didn't give him a chance. He must be. I think, or heartbroken and pissed off. He must be.
Yeah.
Man United are basically in the same. In terms of points, we're almost on a level par, right? So Amorim's come in. If Van Nistelrooy was to come in at this point, it's almost a straight foot race to the end of the season. So it's a good motivator for Van Nistelrooy if he comes in now to stick one up Man U. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you got Randy here saying he's not sure about Ruud van Nistelrooy, but for me, you know that before we got Lopetegui and we were talking about possible managers, I said to you, Nick, didn't I? I said, I'll tell you who I'd like as a at the dark, just to shut out the dark. I said Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think he'd be good. So if we did get Ruud van Nistelrooy, I for one would be quite happy with that. I think he plays good football.
Yeah,
Have we got any clips of Mickey saying that, please? I'd like to see proof of him saying that. I'll be honest with you.
I probably can find it if I could be bothered. You fucking nuts and shut up.
He does this all the time, John. He does. He claims everything. He does.
I called it.
You ain't called anything because it ain't happened yet, you knobhead.
Mickey, I called it Smith. That's what they called me.
What are you on about?
But
calm down, John.
I mean, the only thing for me, because you know a lot of people were all with Allegri when I done that Allegri video. Fuck me, that went down well, didn't it? Like a lead balloon. But but you know what we actually did. We did. We got 2,000 likes and 90,000 views. It was all right. I am.
Yeah, but you got a lot of abuse in the comments.
Got 10,000 abusive comments as well. But I don't give a fuck. I'm still sold on Allegri. He's the one that I want, and there is a reason for this. Okay, that is because we've been shit, and he ain't defensive. Like he's pragmatic. He's balanced. He's a balanced manager, right? So for me, I do think that West Ham need a manager that can sort our fucking defense out for a start. We've been leaking goals like shit for so long. To get somebody to come in that has a record of good being good defensively and being good with scoring goals up the other end is, I think, what we need. And he is proven. I don't see how anybody could turn their nose up at Allegri. I mean, I
think the thing is that Italians are set on defence. They always have been. Their managers always go with a strong back. You know, they want a strong defence first and foremost. I don't think that's pragmatic. I think that's That's what you want in every team, isn't it? You want a strong back line.
Yeah.
You know, but they do score goals. Juventus did score goals under him. I wouldn't say no to him. Of course I wouldn't. But for me, it is anybody that's unemployed. It ain't going to be anyone that's in a job at the minute.
No.
What about Jose? Well, no, I'm not having him.
No.
Well, the thing is, I mean, look,
we need a bit of stability. We need some stability now. We need stability. He's an 18-month manager, really, to 2 years. Let's be honest.
I mean,
is Mancini in a job?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I'm not sure. I mean, what about? Do you think there's any risk at all of, say, for instance, Sullivan? It all goes proper Pete's on with Lopetegui. He's got to go. He's got to go, but they can't find a manager that they want to bring in. Do you think there's any risk that they could put like a caretaker team in of Noble, Keane, Potts like that? Do you think that they would do it?
Of course they could. If it saves them money in the long run, then they wouldn't be surprised if they did it. Of course, but I just think now. I mean, Sullivan's got to look at it. If he decides to get rid of Lopetegui, at what point does Sullivan say, "Right, let's let Tim pick the manager. Let's let Tim lead the race to get the manager in that he wants, that he thinks is right for the club." But will he do that? I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he can actually relinquish that responsibility, and that's the problem.
I don't think so. I think the Tim's ship has sailed. I've got to be honest. With Sullivan, I think it has.
But you say that, Nick. But then, what's the point of him still being there? What's the point of him?
There's not.
Okay. So right. So he's paying him a wage. He's not going to let him do his job for the foreseeable future.
Look, listen. I don't know how true this is. All right. I don't know how true this is, but there was an awful lot of pressure on Sullivan to bring in a director of football in the first place.
Yeah.
Around about the time when Rice was going, there was pressure from board members to bring in a director of football that could help us invest the money properly that we get back in for Rice. So I think it's a case that if Sullivan could sack him now, I think he would, but he can't without a board vote. He can't sack him without a board vote. He literally can't. He ain't got the power without a vote.
I agree.
That's what he can't do. So because if there's too much smoke, for there to not be a fire. And it doesn't matter what.
Leave your ass alone.
It don't matter what It doesn't matter what outlet you look at. They're all saying the same thing. That Tim and Sullivan are not on the same. Well, we know they're not on the same hymn sheet, don't we? We know they are.
It's obvious. But then, would you expect someone like Sullivan to be able to sell the club, sell the job to someone like Allegri?
No, this is where Tim comes in, because, like I said, I made that show where I said Tim didn't identify Kudus and Alvarez and this, that, the other, but he did get the fucking deals done. He's the one who flew over there, sold them a vision, and got it done. He brought them back.
Yeah, and then now look at them. They're thinking, what the fuck did you sell us?
Yeah,
you proper blindsided us here.
I know. Well, look, he's clearly a good salesman, but that was back when he had. But that's back when he had a product to sell. It was all a bit of a. He had obviously his good body of work from his previous job. He's come over here. He's gone, basically, I'm changing things at West Ham. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But I think that's kind of been dismantled, isn't it? Now I think it'd be a harder sell for him now.
If things don't, I agree, because if things don't change very soon, it's going to be very hard to get any kind of player, like good players, like the Kudusis and Pekatars and that, to go to West Ham now. So Sullivan's vision, supposedly, of looking for championship players might be the only sort of players we can attract if it carries on the way it is.
I had a wild card sent to me earlier on, right? And that was what about if say Allegri did come in? This is obviously just spitballing here. What if Allegri did come in? They reckon that with somebody of the profile of Allegri, with what he's done before, you could bring a Paul Pogba in for a year or two.
Oh, fuck off. No way.
You want to bring him in to sort the midfield out?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something about Paul Pogba. I'm sorry, people are going to disagree. I don't care. You know how I've always felt.
He's a class player, though.
Is he? When he wants to be. I don't like players that turn up when they want to be. He's only class when he plays in the French team around all them great players that make him look better.
He was good for Juventus. He was good for Juventus. He was good for Juventus.
Back then, he ain't been good. He ain't been good for fucking years, mate. So I'll tell you what.
So
me and John are agreeing, because no way Pogba. He's shit.
Don't ever say that sentence again.
Honestly, John, I feel like
that's weird, fucking... John, that you two are aligned, mate.
I feel like we're like best pals and that now. Like I ran for a barbecue.
I'll fucking put your hair on the grill.
That's out of order. See, I was so getting on so well. You've got to say that shit.
Never got on. Can we just move on? Can you shut him up? Can you put a fucking mask on him or something?
You joking? You put a mask on me, there'd be so many drop-offs, it'd be unreal.
He's your eye candy, and he's your eye candy.
You know it.
Just Nicky's mum said he looked beautiful with that hair. He believes everything. Oh, Mickey, your hair looks so good. The girls are going to love you.
Yeah, I do. I go, do I look good? She goes, yeah.
We're talking about what's down here or your fucking hair. Move on.
Little soldier.
No, exactly.
What? You fucking get, I tell you what, get them peanuts out your mouth. You're spitting them all over the fucking camera.
What about the what do you mean, what about the other rumours coming out from players recently signed? So the latest one, we heard about Fulkrug. Fulkrug's apparently come out and said that he's unsettled in England. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go out on loan in January. The other one is Guido. Apparently, he wishes he signed a contract extension.
I saw that. Apparently, he wants to go back to Betis on loan in January. Rumors.
Yeah, he don't want to be here. He don't want to be here. Now that is damning because for me, you've got a few players. Obviously, you've got the established players. This proves how miserable that fucking squad is, right? Because he's a seasoned professional. I mean, Nicholas Fulkrug, he's a fucking big lump, you know. He ain't homesick. He just don't like where he is. He don't like where he is. So it shows how miserable that fucking squad must be. That new players that have just come over here are going, fucking hell. You know, I don't want to be here. So you're going to be looking at people like Kudus and Alvarez, people of the actual profile. They've got the ability to get people to pay money for them. I think there's. I don't know about Kudus in January because of the level of money. I don't think anyone's going to pay 85 million in January. But fucking hell, it's
worth it.
Don't it make you wonder though? Like when you look at Guido, but John, when you look at Guido, yeah, and you look at our midfield at the moment, and you hear that our new strategy for transfers moving forward is going to be championship players. Why the fuck did we let Flynn Downs go?
Hang on a minute. This is Sullivan's idea because
why did we let Flynn Downs go? If we're going to be starting,
because some of these players were out the door because of Moyes, weren't they? Almost out the door, and they didn't want to turn back. They didn't want to stay. Moyes ruined their time at the club, right?
He left it round here. Do
you know what I mean? Moyes, that last bit of Moyes'
it's like 4 now, isn't it? It's like 4 now. He wanted to go. He wanted to go, yeah.
Well, he didn't want to go. Did you see the West Ham fans that went out to Betis to watch him play the other day?
Oh, no. But I do think he needed to go for he was miserable
because
he weren't playing.
I mean, the mental damage was done under Moyes, the way he was treated towards the end. At the end of the day, it does beg a question because people will say to me, "Oh, well, Tim brought in Fulkrug. Tim brought in Rodriguez, right?" And it's true to some extent.
Apparently not. Apparently, Guido, Soler, and Kilman Lopetegui signings.
Yeah, sorry, Lopetegui. But Tim maybe got him over the line, like we said with the others.
Yeah.
The point is, for me, if Guido Rodriguez wants to go, he's not going to be a great loss, right? If he wants to go back on loan in January, so what? If Fulkrug wants to go out on loan in January, then so what? At the end of the day, all that means is that some of their youngsters might get a chance, and Deadwood may go out the window. I mean, I don't think Rodriguez he ain't pulled up any trees since he's been with us. There was a couple of moments when I thought he looked good, but in the main, he can't get used to the pace of the game.
He's too slow physically, and also he's too slow on the ball.
Yeah,
he gets caught a lot. Like he's got the turning circle for fucking Arctic lorry. He's terrible. Yeah. And do you know something else that I noticed as well? I watched the Babbling Irons video the other day. They did it, and I never noticed this. They honed in on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So after the Everton game, they honed in on the first 10 minutes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka's game. Fucking hell. It literally typified the problem at West Ham. We know that we've got tactical issues. We know that he's setting them up all wrong. But the big problem is the application's gone. They are not buying into this. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, in the first 3 minutes, he made a sloppy pass back to Kilman. Shit. It was a mistake. He got intercepted. Mate, he didn't even sprint back. He didn't even sprint back. Like, I'm talking slow jogging. About 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, the same thing again. In fact, one of them, you had Somerville overtaking him, running back to sort of get back and make the challenge 3 times in 10 minutes. That's why he got hooked off at half time. So I know he ain't a wing back. I get that. But there's no excuse for a lack of fucking effort like that. And I do think that we're seeing that throughout the team.
Well, maybe he's running them into the ground. I don't know what's going on the training pitch. Maybe he's a bit like Conte who runs. I mean, I don't know. It's just fucking. I'm sick of it. It's like Groundhog Day all over again.
It's miserable, isn't it?
It is miserable. It is miserable. I mean, you know, I'm fairly patient, but yeah, I'm. It's depressing me. It's depressing me going over there. I don't want to go over there. It's just never getting any better. It's the same old fucking rhetoric. It's the same old circus. It's the same old Sullivan coming out and rearing his ugly head as and when he wants to. It's just childish. We run by. It's like we run by children. It's
I like this from Ryan. Look, he says.
Oh, sorry,
Mick. Ryan says we seem like the Saudi team in the Premier League. Yeah, we pay bang average players a load of money. 6 months later, this isn't where I want to be, regardless of the money. It does feel a little bit like that. It's been run so. Honestly, there can't have been. Well, there was a strategy. Tim would have had a strategy, but Sullivan has just completely fucked it, and they've just flown by the seat of their pants, haven't they, with this window? Yeah. It's just fucking. We need 9 players. I mean, it's like the Wan-Bissaka signing. Yeah, so Sullivan's having a go at Tim for not bringing in players that suit Lopetegui, but Wan-Bissaka was Sullivan's one. So you've got a manager that wants You've got a manager that wants wing backs. Wan-Bissaka ain't a fucking wing back, so that's on Sullivan. That one.
Yeah, about that for a comment. It makes me so sad to see the state of our club. I had so much optimism about the season at the start and can't believe it's gone so poorly. And it has gone so poorly. We're so boring to watch. Anyone seen the watch-alongs that we do? It's our graft because we're sitting there. It's nothing really to talk about.
For 90 minutes.
It's boring.
Yeah, that makes it harder, to be honest. That does.
Are you fucking joking? That's why they tune in. That's why they don't go off, mate. Because of me.
But
so much hate tonight. I don't get it, John.
I spoke to John. I spoke to John Kameh earlier. I did a little 2-man show with John Kameh. That's going to be coming out tomorrow. John Kameh, the KC, not QC, KC.
But there's a G in his name.
No, it's not.
That's Benny's surname.
John Kameh. Well, yeah, there is. There's a G at the end, but it's Kameh. It's not Kameh.
No, but there's a G in his name.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's Kameh.
So how would you pronounce it, John?
Kameh.
I like that better.
But what he said, look, he pays a lot of money to go, so he's in, and where he sits, he's been going with his mates over there for fucking years. They all pay a lot of money. First of all, the thing that annoys them is what they've started doing with in those areas. They've basically just started fucking renting out the boxes for fuck all to you know God knows who. I don't know what sort of system they've got going over there, but. Basically, the 2 blokes that he's gone with, that he's been going with for years, they do their season tickets 6 monthly, and they've come out and said that I don't think I'm gonna be renewing. So John basically is going to be on his own going over there. It's
I don't mind going and sitting in these seats with him if he pays.
Yeah. They're good seats. I've done them. They're good seats, but. Basically,
though, of course you've done them. Fucking hell!
But what I was going to say is,
I'm watching football in a box. That boy, Jesus.
But what I was going to say is, if you thought that was how the season tickets worked, so say for instance it was 6 monthly and you had a chance to renew in the second half of the season, what do you think the uptake would be for the second half of this season? Would you renew? Would you renew now? Honestly.
My renewals are always lastminute.com anyway, because I always say I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, and then I wait till the last minute. My fear is always that I don't have a ticket and never get one again, and then we win something big, but we're not going to win something big, are we? No. So I think the uptake would definitely drop off 100%.
It would do, wouldn't it? It would do. Fucking 100%. Yeah. It's a shame they don't offer fucking refunds, isn't it? They should do, really, because it's proper. They've proper been sold down the. Everyone's been sold down the river this year, you know, with how poorly they've run it. For them choosing this season to remove concessions and increase prices as well, it's fucking. Everything's been bad timing for them. Everything's been bad timing. And I heard a theory the other day as well about the concessions. You know, there's this rumor that there is a purchase going through. A lot of people say Krasinski. So there's the 18 months into a 3-year thing, you know. So whatever. But imagine if part of the stipulation was the fact that these concessions do have to be removed, and they've just got to do it anyway. But Sullivan and all that have got to take the brunt of it because they put that in place anyway. Do you think that could be something to do with it? With a new owner going, well, you've got to sort these fucking ticket things out because they're all too cheap. It's ridiculous what you've done.
Yeah, 100%. It could be 100%.
It could be, couldn't it?
But yeah, but I always thought that keeping the season tickets low initially was to have a steady fan base. So when you do come to sell it, you say, look, we've got 40 season tickets, 40,000 ready-made season ticket holders.
Yeah.
I don't think the new owners, if and when they came in, can do what they want straight away anyway, can't they?
Yeah, well, it's all about tourists anyway, isn't it? I think that's where they make most of their money now. So, and I think, you look at some of these clubs now that are up the top. You look at Brighton, with the Amex, that these teams are proving you don't need a big fucking stadium to be successful. You don't. You just don't.
No, you don't need a big stadium. If it's run correctly, mate.
Right.
It's just not right over there. It's never going to be right, is it? It's just it's so depressing. You got, start of the season, all the media saying what a window we have, and we were saying what a window we've had. What are we now? November. Start of November, all the media outlets are going, what's going on at West Ham ain't good enough for the players they've got.
Did you get one of them, John?
Again, it's the same old fucking story.
Yeah,
you
John,
get a questionnaire?
What?
The club questionnaire. Did you
fill in your club questionnaire?
I haven't had one. What, by email?
Apparently, do you think they're going to offer a 2-year season ticket?
I did. Do you think they're going to offer it? I wouldn't be surprised. That's the way of getting more money out of you. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all, mate.
What you want to do?
I don't know where that. Well, I didn't see an email, if I'm honest. So I might miss it. Yeah, by email.
Oh, Happy must have got one, but yeah, by email.
Oh, Happy got one.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, but it must be in my junk. I won't bother. I'll never do a 2-year season ticket. No, I won't give them. To be honest with you, look, I'm not going to lie. My season tickets, I'll sit up in the gods, but I don't. I always sit down the front anyway.
You sit where you want, don't you?
I'm a fucking rebel, mate. I'm a fucking rebel.
You do what you want, don't you, John?
Do what I like. Why does he keep saying reload? What's he want me to reload?
I don't know. The nuts. By the looks of it, reload your nuts.
It must turn him on or something.
Yeah, actually, he's got a point there. Does it turn you on, Black Country? Does it?
Why are you ringing me, Nick?
I'm just trying to sort the thing out so we can take a few calls. I don't think we'll get many because there ain't any fuck all to talk about, is there? But we'll see if anyone does want to phone in.
Well, we haven't got to talk about it.
Oh, Mick the Postie, you are the love of my life. That's it. It's what we should all sing. Although, did
you enjoy the fact there was no football this weekend?
Well, I went to Dagenham and Redbridge Barnet. Watched the game.
Is that? Yeah, that's working.
Virgil, okay. Are you related to Slabbin?
If anyone wants to phone in, you can phone in now. I'll put the number up in 10 minutes. If any regulars want to phone in, I'm sure someone like a Gary or anyone else. In fact, a load of you should have my number from that last week. So if you do want to phone in and have a chat,
people that maybe not have your number. Why are you not?
Oh, I'll do that then. 1 minute.
Look, I'm just going to say I don't look nothing like. Is that Slabhead? Do I look like Slabhead? I don't know if I do.
No, Slabhead is Harry Maguire.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm related to him. Yeah, I'm as good a player as him. Don't worry about that.
You got a fucking bigger head than him.
Right. Don't drop me a WhatsApp. Just phone in, and it's a first come first serve. So you have to wait for a gap because I've got one phone. So if you do want to phone in,
Terry Brigstock's got a question for you, Nick. Would you consider going on Talk Sport and stating our case?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear you run rings around.
But the thing is, John, I don't think they'd let you run rings around them because
they don't want to know.
They'd cut you off.
No, but Jordan's called out Lopetegui already. So I know, but you know when fans phone in, if they've got a good case and they make you look stupid, don't they? Because they just literally cut you off. And yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to, especially Jim White. I can't stand. Yeah, I know it's thingy, but I actually like Simon Jordan. I agree with a lot of his opinions. If I'm totally honest with you, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's a bit poncy though, isn't he?
He is, but he's very honest though. He's very honest. Alan Dunn says, due to the concessions being removed, the board have proved that they don't give a shit about true fans. If they want the tourists so they can charge more, then true fans need to stop going. Alan's right. I'm a true fan, and I'm sure Alan's everyone is a true fan, right? In whatever capacity. It's very hard.
Yes.
To stop going. I'm not going to lie. I find it. Yeah. I'd love to stop going because, as I said, it brought me to tears sometimes. But I would find it very hard.
I broke it over COVID.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I broke it over, which was good because there was no football when I broke it. So there weren't really anything to go back to. So that was easier. And I must admit, I don't regret it, and I don't think I'm ever going to get another one back. I don't think I will. No. I don't think I will. You can get tickets over there whenever you fucking want them anyway. It's not exactly hard to get tickets over there.
Not for home games, no, not for home games.
So it's not the end of the world. Come on, does anyone want to phone in and talk to us? Come on.
No.
No one does today.
But to be fair to people though, there's not really much to fucking talk about when there's no game being played, and it is all quite depressing.
And it is
so read about West Ham at the moment. Like everything is just toxic. Everyone wants to leave. The ownership and the football director are not getting on. The managers, and he's toxic. He's very toxic at the moment, and I can only see it getting worse. It's not fun.
Oh, I did have my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry if anyone has. if anyone has phoned me, go on, you might be able to get through now.
No one phoned you fucking moron.
My bad.
Yeah, it's all been said over and over. It is the same regurgitated shit.
It has.
Coming up. We thought that we was going to get away from that. Like, to be fair to you, after Moyes had left. But it's not. It's just carried on. And it's hard work being a West Ham fan right now. Everyone's in the same boat.
Well, the thing is, I think, like under Moyes, I said it before, at least with when Moyes was here, I mean, I never felt like this. I always felt I was angry under Moyes. There was always an emotion there. But I think because what that was we was excited for the change, and we thought something's going to come on. We're going to be, once we get past Moyes, it's going to be good. Well, like I've said before a million times, we've seen what comes next, and now I can't get excited. Even if Lopetegui goes, I can't get excited.
We didn't really have great expectations under Moyes, so you was never that disappointed. But with Lopetegui and with the window we had, our expectations were risen quite rightly.
Yeah,
we thought this is going to be good. Got a better manager in, signed 11 good players on paper. It's just disappointing to say the least.
I refuse to accept that all the players that we've signed are shit. I don't think they are. I think there's some good players there. I don't think they're all crap.
I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're not. Yeah. Listen, not every player is going to come in and hit the ground running, whether you like it or not. They're not. It's impossible for everyone to be successful straight away, right? But there are some good players there. I like Wan-Bissaka. All right, I know Babylon's Irons have obviously analysed him the other game, but ultimately he's a good player. Somerville excites me. Wan-Bissaka excites me. Kudus excites me. Alvarez, I like Alvarez. A lot of people go, he's crap. He treads water when he runs and all that. But what you've got to remember is he is a CDM. He's not a CDM. He's a CDM. Box to box. He's not a box to box midfielder. He don't need to be particularly fast.
In the right structure, in the right midfield, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. Yes. I just think if you've got him covering the whole pitch, then he's no good. He can't do that.
I mean, Rodriguez worries me. Soler, I ain't seen much of him, but worries me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering.
I'm phoning Gary, see if I can get through to Gary from Romford.
We don't want to watch him on enough. Even he's depressed. He ain't phoning in.
I know.
He's depressing. He's been quite right this season. He's said like it's will be 4-0, 3-0. He's been right.
What's that? Mikey, don't say.
Yeah, Mikey, what he's like. He's a bit of a fucking doom and gloomer, like winning predictions and that. But he's been bang
on. No, he's been bang on. But to be fair, he kind of always backs up what he was saying as well. And look, he's right.
No, I will not. You slaughtered me haircut, so I'm not.
Mickey, ask a question, please. Was that?
No, I didn't think it was a question. It's more of a statement. But he said, "Would you take relegation?" He was talking about.
Yeah, well. I'll tell you what, we had this conversation before, right? And I think most you didn't agree, Mick, but
no.
If would you take 5 more years of what we've had for the past 3 years in the league, for 5 more years with Sullivan doing what he's been doing,
Mick?
Would you take that, or would you accept relegation if it meant Sullivan would fuck off?
Mick, why would you not accept relegation, Mick? What is it? What is it about? What is it you missed the Premier League?
Well, to be fair to you, I didn't know that was a question about taking another 5 years. Don't think I could do that. But I genuinely believe the Premier League is where he's at. I think
where is what at? Where is what at?
It's so miserable, mate.
Like even when you're social and that, like say like you're at work and everything, yeah. We had Leeds fans where I worked and that, and then once they was in the Premiership, they was sort of, you can have that talk, but
Premier League,
you're out of it. You're out of it. Do you know what I mean? You're out of the mix. So I do enjoy being in the Premier League.
Out of what? A closed shop.
Yeah, but that's just my opinion. I prefer being in the Premier League. I prefer watching a game of football in the Premier League than watching. I know it's us. But still, I genuinely have always thought the Premier League is where it's at. I wouldn't want to get relegated.
What it is, Mick, I mean, let me sell you the vision, right? So just say that. Say you could choose these two things. Either 5 more. Oh no, we've got Gary back. Yeah, here we go. Hello, is that Gary?
Hello, Nick.
Is that Gary from Romford?
Hello, mate. How are you? All right?
Yeah, I'm very well, mate. Yourself? Well, I'm actually not well. I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I got a cold.
Have you?
I have, yeah.
Where you been? Where you been, Gal? Nick called you. Where you been, mate?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm out at the moment. I'm on my way home.
Oh, really? You've been
You're
out? Been out of town? You've been down to Curry House?
No, I just found a friend's house and just driving. So yeah.
How dare you be out on a
show tonight or not even?
Yeah.
How dare you be out, Gary, on a Sunday night when we're on? That's a liberty.
What are you playing at?
Well, I didn't think there'd be a show tonight because no football.
You ashamed of yourself, mate. You should be ashamed. You let yourself down here. You let yourself right down. Just gonna say it.
Who's on tonight? Who is it? Micky and John?
Yeah.
Micky, it's John and the Llama. Larry the Llama is on tonight.
Dream team.
Micky, can I? Not Micky. Gary, can I ask you what you think of Micky's hair? You know, it ain't changed from last week. You know Micky's haircut. What's your opinion on his latest haircut? Have you seen it lately?
No, I'm going to watch the show when I get home. Like, so he still looks as good looking as ever, isn't he?
He's a good.
That's fucking right, Gal. Exactly, mate.
But Gary, save the show. Give us something to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
You rang in. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, well, I did all rehearsed, but obviously now you sort of throw me a bit. To be honest with you, I'm getting a bit. I don't know about you lads. You're not getting a bit bored with the whole thing with West Ham at the moment. It's a bit boring, isn't it?
It is boring.
We're just going over the same thing.
It's boring.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was watching the other night, right? I've been watching Nigel Kahn. I've listened to a couple of your shows. I'm just bored with West Ham, right? I'm bored with it as a club. I'm bored with the Lopetegui, the Steiden, Sullivan, the whole circus. You know, I'll tell you something. Right? First time I ever went to West Ham, I was about 6-7 years old. I think it was in the late 60s. Beat Burnley on a Monday night. We went top of the league. As I walked out the ground, my uncle said, "Don't worry, won't be there very long."
Yeah.
And years later, he never went West Ham anymore. And I said to him, "Why don't you go West Ham?" He said, "The club never had an ambition. It never has done, and it never has." He said, "All they want to do is get their regulars through the door. That's all they're worried about." And you know what?
It's the same now. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing's changed, Nick. And well, I mean, to be honest, I'm looking back since 2016. We've had 2 or 3 chances to get the Champions League. We blew it in 2016. Brilliant season, but at the end we fell away. The first season back, we got to the semi-final. We should have won that. We would have got the final. I think we'd have won that final. Would have been in Champions League. And now I'm seeing Declan Rice going to Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing linked, Kuda's linked with Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So what will become a feeder club? So what was the point of moving from Upton Park when we're still in our best players?
Yeah.
You know, a kettle might be going.
I must admit, Gary, I've not heard you talk like this before. You seem like you've had it.
Well, no, I've not had it. But you know what it is, Nick? It's a difficult thing on this show because the show, I'll be totally honest with you, because the show has always been very anti-Moyes. I think on YouTube, you've probably been the most anti-Moyes channel on it. And sometimes to sort of say, when I don't always totally agree, you have to be brave sometimes to come on and sort of say what you think.
Yeah, always. You should
Yeah, no, what's that? I mean, John's on tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John's always pretty sort of levels it all out. But, you know, with Moyes, I'm thinking back now. The trouble with Moyes, when you look at, you've got to split his tenure into 2. You look at the first 2 years, the Premier League form was very good. We was around the top 4 most of it. We got the 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
3rd and 4th season. Well, last season, with first half season was great, and we fell away. And the season before that, it was like, you know, a bit mixed. But generally speaking, Nigel Kahn said the other night, and I can make him right, and he said, whether you're Moyes in or Moyes out, he was saying to people, enjoy the ride because it ain't going to last.
Yeah,
and I think it might under this leadership, it might be a few years, Nick.
It's been proven. It's been proven right, but it was going even with Moyes. It was done. I think it was enjoy the ride in Europe. It was done. It was done.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is, Nick, it's a shame he wasn't so stubborn because he could have done a rebuild and he could have said to Sullivan, could have said to him, look, Dave, start again. Let's get back to where he was. Let's get the club back on the map. We got noticed. We was up there amongst the big boys, not just making the fucking numbers up. We were amongst it the last few years. And if it hadn't been so stubborn, because after all, he's not perfect. He's made a lot of mistakes, Nick. I mean, he played with a small squad. And I was watching something the other night about 2 guys arguing about Moyes, about the good and bad.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was on about his league form. But the thing is, what no one said was, we were playing in Europe and we were playing like twice a week. So it's going to affect your league position forming into. I mean, you've seen Aston Villa. They're fallen away the last few weeks. Tottenham. It's no coincidence. They're all playing in Europe.
Yeah. Look, that's a valid. It is a valid point. It is a valid point. Yeah, it is a valid point because it's when you're a club like West Ham, you obviously the big clubs that can attack all the competitions on all fronts at a high level are the ones that have got fucking 2 starting 11s as a squad, aren't they? You know, your Man Cities and your Liverpools. Whereas everyone underneath that, really, you can't afford to have 2 superstar strikers and 2, this, that, the other. So it is a good point. It is a good point. But
I mean, look at the other thing. Look at the transfer window. Now we've got our Fulkrug money. Now, Nick, me and you were on the same page here. We were screaming for Duran, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were screaming, and we wasted 27 million on Fulkrug, on a 31-year-old injury-prone player. If we'd have got Duran in that team now, you mentioned Bowen, Kudus, Duran, Somerville, Paqueta, that's going to frighten the life out of teams.
Yeah.
Right? And we was maybe a box-to-box midfield player like Fofana. You add those 2 to that team is challenging top 4.
But again,
right?
but this goes back to a criticism of Moyes because Moyes put the block on there, and then when you talk about having the ability to move on and push on, if you go back to that year when we was in the Europa League and we got to the semi-final, that was the window. The January window was the window where we had to build and we had to go out and get a striker.
And we got nobody.
Moyes refused to fucking sign anyone, and he came out and took full blame for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think ultimately, and this is not me saying we shouldn't have got rid of Moyes because we should. In fact, we got rid of him too late. But I think, I'm going to be level-headed, as Gary said, which is quite obvious. I'm quite level-headed anyway.
Yeah.
Square-headed.
You can't deny that Moyes did good for us in the main. When you weigh it all up.
No. When you look at it all in a snapshot, you do. Yeah.
When you put it as a snapshot, right?
Yeah.
When we finished in the league, we won the Conference League.
3 years in Europe.
What? 3 years in Europe?
3 years in Europe, yeah.
So on paper, that's brilliant. And he did do a good job for us, whether you like it or not. Now, Lopetegui's come in with a big reputation, a big name. And for whatever reason, because he is a step up from Moyes on paper, no?
We're supposed to. When you look at his record, he should be.
Yeah, when you look at he's been to Real Madrid and Spain,
his success at Sevilla as well. So
so you'd say that, but it's not though, is it? On paper, it is, but in real life,
it does make you wonder, right? Because if you look, I suppose, looking at the Lopetegui situation, okay. Lopetegui's come into this is being level-headed. If I'm looking at it as a neutral. A manager's come in. There was a massive squad rebuild that needed 9 new fucking players. Now that would have been hard enough if there would have been a common vision and he'd have had input on the players that were brought in, and he was working with a director of football who had power and everything was like a clean machine behind him. But he hasn't really had that either. We've had all these different players coming in. There's been battles behind the scene. Clearly, there's still battles and toxicity behind the fucking scenes.
Yeah.
Which ain't helping anything. And look, whenever you get anything like that, if you work in any fucking business, right?
Yeah.
If you've got poison, if you've got poison at the top, it will filter throughout the business. Of course, it will.
100%.
We'll pull in different directions. Yeah. Well, this is the trouble. I mean, people listening to me must be thinking, well, I'm saying 2 things here. In one breath, I'm saying, the time Moyes was here, we had the 3 years in Europe. We got semi-final, quarter-final. We won the trophy. It was top 6, top 7, top 9. Like Nigel's chances, over the years, look back, we've never done that before. I know I've seen the FA Cup 75 and 80 under Lyle. I've been to 86. I've seen that as well. But in the main, apart from the 1 year in Pardew when we come up and the village here, the rest of it's been pretty shit, to be truthful with you.
Yeah.
And when fans from the outside look in, I think when we first started doing it under Moyes, they think, this ain't going to last. And I think suddenly West Ham were being like, well, I'll give you an example. Irish Tommy. Now, Irish Tommy last season was the same as you, Nick. It was definitely Moyes out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he did say one thing, and I think it explains what I'm going to say now, and I think John will relate to this. He did say, the first 2 years under Moyes, when we were going away from home, playing a counter-attacking football, breaking quick on teams, winning was really tough to beat away from home. Grounds that we wasn't normally winning at Everton, Villa Park. I enjoyed that, and Irish Tommy said he really enjoyed that.
I
It was a tough team to beat.
think with that period, I think you're talking about the Lingard period as well, when that was in there as well. The football went back. The football went back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I'll tell you what it was. It was effective counter-attacking football, which ain't boring. Effective counter-attacking ain't boring. If you've got good attacking players, because we've got players now that are more suited to a counter-attacking game. I think Kudus and Bowen would be more suited to a counter-attacking game.
They are.
I think Paqueta's more suited to a counter-attacking game because he wants to pop the ball off quick to players running in behind.
Antonio, Somerville, all of them are. And I think if someone should speak to Lopetegui and say, look, whatever your views are here, this team is geared up towards playing attacking football. I think it's why Bowen is suffering. It ain't just because he's captain.
Does a manager, especially a big name manager, do they come in with their way of playing, and how stubborn are they before they even, if at all, change to suit what they've got? This is the point, right?
Yeah.
Lopetegui obviously has a way of playing, but my argument is, why can't good managers have a plan B? It seems like a lot of them don't, which is quite strange when you think about it, because if you're a manager, you should be able to manipulate your team, change tactics in game. And it seems like a lot of modern day managers don't really seem to have that in their. Well, I wouldn't say modern day managers because he's not, is he? But he's in his 50s, isn't he? But why can't someone like Lopetegui?
I would imagine, though, John, as a manager that's made it to this level, that is a top flight manager, I would imagine that somewhere throughout their career, to get where they are, they've not had the perfect pieces of a puzzle, and they've had to do something to get the best out of the players that they've got. And that should always be the fundamental thing that you look at when you go into a club. Yeah. What have I got, and how can I get the best out of it?
Yeah, but then it could also be a case that they've stumbled upon like a formation that worked for them at some point.
Could have been luck,
when they stumbled upon that, it's worked for them.
That's true.
They've carried on going with it, and then they just revert back to it because it's worked for them before. So it could be that.
I think we saw that with Moyes quite a lot. Do you know, like when Moyes was trying to find a way, and then he found a way that got us a win, and then he would just keep doing that even when it weren't working. Yeah, I think maybe sometimes that does happen. I don't know.
I mean, the other thing was at the club where it got badly wrong. I mean, apart from the Falkirk thing, which we all agreed was a total disaster, and why we ever went for him for when he was nothing like Duran, Nick, like you said yourself. The other money was the money spent on Gameri, the Brazilian boy. Now, look, in a year, 18 months' time, he could be absolutely brilliant. We've got the next star to replace Kudus, right? Yeah. But was it the time to be? We're not Chelsea and Man City. I was put 25 million by there. Good interview. We needed to get back in Europe this season.
But based on the manager that we've got now, that was a complete waste of money because we needed players for the now, and he was never going to factor him into his plans. He weren't going to. So in that sense, it was a waste because. I do get it. But the thing is, I've said this before, mate. Tim Stein was here for the season before. He would have been planning for a new rebuild. And he was promised, don't forget, that he was going to be taking over the recruitment side of it, because that's why David Moyes didn't sign his contract. He didn't sign his contract because the contract offer that he was given was to say that he was going to be reporting to Tim. So basically, what happened was it done. And do you know what? This is part of me thinks that this is why Sullivan wanted Moyes out as well, because he wanted control back of transfers. Moyes was blocking lots of transfers.
Oh yeah.
So I think Sullivan wanted control back.
Like I say earlier.
Yeah.
Despite me, backing Moyes to a point and pointing out some of his good points, I do accept the downside of Moyes, like which you pointed out, Nick, and I can't disagree with that. It's true what you say. Yeah. But the problem is there, if you get rid of this manager, it's a gamble. It's a gamble now. Whoever we bring in, it's going to work or not, because we don't know. I
don't think it would be a gamble if you take the tax that, because you've got to delegate responsibility of recruitment to the most capable person in your team. The most capable person in that team is Tim Stein. He knows from the outside. He knows the capabilities of the players that he's got. He would be the best fit to go out there and find a manager suitable to come in and get the best out of this team. But you know that isn't going to fall to him. It's going to fall to Sullivan, who is basically it's a gamble. Whenever Sullivan does anything, because he ain't got no fucking football knowledge, it's a gamble. So we've just got to hope that he lands in one. Moyes was a fucking gamble that paid off. Let's have it.
Do you not think it's a bigger gamble by keeping Lockie at the moment? Do you not think that's a bigger gamble by keeping
I don't think we're getting relegated. I think we could just limp through the rest of this season and we'll be all right.
No, but Nick, the thing is, how I look at it is, no. I mean, I've heard about it. We're too good to go down. We've heard that before, haven't we?
Yeah,
but, I mean, apart from that, the thing is, Wolves, Southampton, Ipswich, they're all starting to pick up wins. You watch the last couple of weeks. They're all starting to win a few games.
Ipswich,
we look shit. We look shit.
And if we lose the next two, which we probably will, you never know. You never know with West Ham. You might get a point from one of them. I doubt it, though. And then we could be just round about the bottom three. No doubt about it. And then you got the Leicester game under real pressure.
He could have he could have a sliding doors moment, Lopetegui, because I think he needs not just a big win. Because a big win was Man United, but it was a shit performance that we didn't deserve. But there is one game coming up where I think that we could, if we turned up, get something. Sorry, that's just my phone. It's telling me to go to bed. So go to bed. That's what.
Hang on. What? Go to sleep, my little baby.
Oh yeah, that's it, little baby. That's what it sings to me. I've lost my train of thought now. What was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. It's gone.
Having a moment.
What's that?
Having a moment.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry, mate. No. I've lost it.
Oh no, you were saying about that he needs a big win. He needs a big win.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So there is a moment coming up where I think it could happen, right? When you bear in mind, look, Newcastle that's a write-off. We're getting beat up there on a Monday night. We are. They've got too much pace, as John said earlier on. Arsenal ain't playing well this year. Arsenal was shit. No. They've been playing shit. They play defensive football. I think the fans are getting frustrated now because they know they ain't going to win the fucking league. They're falling out the top four. I think they're sixth. Do you know what? That's a London derby. That is a game where I'm not saying, look, 90% chance we're going to lose that. But that is a game this year with the way that they're playing. John, don't you think we should be fucking going for them? We should be going for them this year.
Yeah, we should be. But it's a shame they've got Kudus, isn't it? If Kudus is in the team.
Hang on, Gal. Sorry, 1 minute. Go on, John. What did you say?
You just can't see Loppy going for it, can you? I just can't. I just don't think he's got that. I don't think he's got that in his mantra. I don't think he's got that in his armory. I think he has. I think he's got it with the players. It's the capability of the players, but I don't think he wants to.
Yeah,
agree.
Surely, he can't be. He's not stupid, Lopetegui. Whatever we think about him, he ain't stupid, right? And I mean, the thing
I don't know
is,
from what I've seen this
surely
year.
by now, I know what you're saying, Nick, but surely, I mean, if Noble's not getting in his ear or someone saying, you start playing the players in their positions now, you can see, Wan-Bissaka's the best defensive right-back in the Premier League, and he has been for some years. Yeah. And he's been pushed upfield, and it ain't doing him any favours.
No.
We bought some good players in this year. If we just got the striker right, I think we would have been maybe different.
Somebody made a suggestion the other day. Do you know our got a huge problem in midfield? You know, like you said earlier on, if we'd have got Fofana, engine in midfield, that battering ram in midfield, legs. Somebody made a suggestion the other day, and I don't know this. This is based on what they've said. Apparently, Todibo played an awful lot at times in central midfield as a CDM. Yeah, and he's fucking good, apparently. And he's mobile. We can carry the ball. He's big. He's athletic. I mean, I'm not being funny. Bring Dinos in. Put him at the back next to
Then you're taking Alvarez out, isn't it, then?
Well, no, because you play him as an. I think you could play him as an 8, as a box to box, if he's that good. I think he's got the footballing ability.
Why not
to get up and down? To get up and down.
CDMs then, because that's what we're playing enough with defensive players at the moment, and we're still leaking goals in. At the end of the day, it's sloppy, isn't it? He's not cut out for it. Let's be honest with you.
No,
he's not West Ham.
I don't think so. I do actually think, with everything I've just said, I think we're going to get royally pumped by Newcastle, and I think Arsenal are going to fucking hurt us. I do. I really do. I can't.
Do you not think, though? Do you not think, with what we've got available at the moment, we can't do nothing to January now. We're about the legs in midfield, and obviously this is the biggest, for me, this is where all the problems are stemming from, the midfield area. We all agree with that, don't we?
Yeah.
But like you said, Nick, you said this weeks ago, get Kudus in the number 10 role. Get Kudus in that number 10 role. Try Tobido alongside him. You got Alvarez, and suddenly you got a different looking midfield there.
Or something else, something else that you could do. Sorry to cut you off. Something else that you could do as well, because from what I don't think you can play Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a right wing back. I think if you're going to play a wing back, you've got to play Soufal. I think Soufal looked better. Soufal looked better when he came on in that second half. He looked better as a wing back. He did. So I think you're even going to use.
Yeah, but we know Soufal last season had 9-10 assists. We know Soufal. Soufal's better going
as a wing back. He is, yeah.
But the point
and
is,
the thing is,
what about even if you push Tobido in midfield? What if you put Savale at right back and play Wan-Bissaka in a more central defensive role?
Well,
as one of the three.
Well, I think if you played three, if you played three at the back, you could have Wan-Bissaka as a right centre back. You could do.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
There's loads he can do, but we know what he's going to do. The same thing.
Yeah.
He can do the same thing. It's annoying, isn't it?
I don't like Noble gets a bit more like input into things. He must be watching what's going on. He loves the club. He's a fan at the end of the day. And I'd like to see Noble maybe just doing a bit more, maybe in the background.
I do wonder though what influence he's got, because you could tell that he did not want Earthy to go. He didn't want Earthy to go out on loan.
No.
So then, go on.
Can anyone at that club do their job properly with Sullivan in charge?
No, it's been proved, isn't it? No one.
People are coming out going Noble. I mean, look, not being funny, Ralph. Like Ralph's put, I don't trust Noble. I'm not being horrible, Ralph. I respect your opinion. You can't. How can you not trust someone who absolutely loves the club, not just as a player but as a fan?
Yeah.
I can't see why you don't trust him. I just think that no one at that club can do their job.
Listen, John, the perfect example of how little power that Noble has got was what they almost did to him in the summer. And that was Noble's working hard to try and get all the players that were, their contracts were expiring, to get them to sign new deals. He's selling them the dream. The biggest fucking jewel in the academy, Alford, they go and offer him as a party in a part exchange deal to Aston Villa.
So they take the rug. They take the rug from under everyone's feet.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
he must have been absolutely livid. Absolutely livid.
Yeah, I mean, it's the other thing. Like you look, we let Wall Prowse go and Glenn Downs is gone.
Flynn Downs is the one. Flynn Downs is the one. Yeah.
And Wall Prowse, and we've replaced him with the Argentinian boy and Solea.
I know, mate.
How is that an upgrade?
It's not an upgrade. Nothing that we've done's a fucking upgrade. Solera ain't an upgrade on Fornals. I don't know what guy. I don't actually know.
I don't know what he is.
Guido is not. He's not a suitable Premier League player. But anyway, Gary, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thank you very much for the call. And we'll speak to you next week.
No, thanks very much for answering my call.
Thanks very much for taking the call, mate. Thanks very much for taking the call. Good man.
All right.
Cheers, mate. Thanks,
mate.
Bye, mate.
My throat is going.
Are you saying, Nick, that you would want to keep? You wanted to keep James Ward-Prowse now? Are you saying that?
It weren't James Ward-Prowse. It was Flynn Downs. I wanted to keep. But I can't argue that James Ward-Prowse is worse than what we've got now. What we've recruited, I can't, because he ain't worse. James Ward-Prowse ain't.
I genuinely am gutted about the Earthy loan. I think that the last few games of the season, he come on, he looked good. He looked like really good, and I think he deserved to stay here to progress. I really do believe that.
I think he should have. Look, Potts as well. I keep saying it. When you look at how shit we've been, right now, like I said, if you was to ask me at the start of the season, I would have been all no. I want Fofana. I want this player because I want us to challenge. But we ain't fucking challenging. We'd have been so better off having the midfield three, like Potts, Earthy, Alford, players like that. With Flynn Downs as well. Players just I don't know. Do you know what? And do you know what, James Ward-Prowse? I've got to say we've been fucking shit for set pieces this year, because when you can't play football like we can't, and we're struggling from open play, you kind of got to rely on your set pieces a little bit. And our set pieces have been shit, haven't they? They've been shit.
Yeah. It's just we're back to square. I feel like we're back to square one, mate. I really do. We're going to be. We're going to go another month in, and then we're going to go. We might as well put the kids in. They're going to be no worse than them. It's the same rhetoric year on, year out, and it all goes to fucking. I mean, look, Red Stretch. I don't think he's shit recruitment, mate. I just think there's too many people involved.
It's all shit.
Yeah,
no, I don't. No, I agree. I don't think he's shit recruitment. I just think that he's Wan-Bissaka. Let's take him. But let's take like Wan-Bissaka as the example here. Yeah, we all know that has been said. Gary just said it. He's a great right back, but a wing back. He's not.
To be fair, Mick, you did. That's another one you called. You did say that. You said he ain't a good. You said you'd rather have had Kyle Walker-Peters as a wing back.
For the system he was playing, not I like Wan-Bissaka, but for the system that Loppy plays, it should have been Kyle Walker-Peters, and I think that's shown.
I know. Even that Maz, because I thought that Maz right.
He's only just started playing Wan-Bissaka at wing back.
He's even when he was at a fullback, mate, he was bombing up the pitch.
Mate.
He's
never been a right back. If he wanted to play that system, and I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong and disagree with me, but if he wanted to play that system, he needed a proper wing back, and that would have been that Carl Walker-Peters.
I just feel like the team, because he looks like he isn't the best communicator, Lopetegui, you know, and that's what we've heard a lot of as well. So I almost feel like, because his system looks so complicated, right? Everyone looks confused. You got all these players switching positions and that. I just feel like if he was just to go back to basics with this group of players that he's got, and just play a conventional formation with people having simple fucking jobs, and maybe, you know, give some supply to your star players and have a bit of reliance on their ability, you know, give them a bit of creative freedom, and have a solid foundation, I think we'd get some success. I just don't know what he's doing. I
don't think the defence is the problem for the lack of solid foundation.
It's not.
Isn't it?
It's the midfield.
The defence are being overrun because there's no legs in midfield. So that's what's happening. Don't matter how good you are as a defender, if you're at number 2 on 1 all the time, you ain't going to win many battles, are you?
Nothing you can do in that situation. And
the problem is in the central midfield positions, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's where the problem is.
And the right side of centre back as well, because for whatever reason, because I would have always imagined that Wan-Bissaka would have been a better right back. Well, he is a better right back. He is, but like I said, it seems like the way that he uses that right-sided player, they always bomb on. Wan-Bissaka's always up the pitch the whole time. Emerson gives you more coverage on the left-hand side defensively. He does. He's more where he needs to be. So whoever that right-sided centre-back is, which is Todibo or it's Dinos, they're fucking exposed. Like, there's that massive gap there. Have you seen that graphic that was floating around on Twitter? Where the coloured squares, where it shows you the space that you give opposition, and like red is no space, blue is fucking loads of space. Our whole pitch was blue. And if you look at that versus all the other teams in the Premier League,
we're next to Spurs on that. Compare them two. Spurs is pure like red and fucking pink.
Because they press. So even when you win the ball, they hunt. They come back, whereas we kind of don't. And that's the other thing he does, which I find really weird as well. So he does this. It don't feel like it, but he plays when he presses. The first player that leads a press is a striker, and then that's a trigger for everyone else to go. And there's so many screenshots of us having like 5 players in advanced positions. And what happens then is, as soon as somebody beats that press, there's a massive fucking gap in midfield. That is why we look like we've got no midfield, because there's no one there.
Matthew Clark has just said what I always say. Most football matches are won or lost in midfield.
Yeah, they are.
And that's the thing that people, when Declan Rice first came into our team, a lot of outside fans used to go, well, what does he do? He used to just break the game up with a little toe in, and he'd get the ball moving quickly.
Yeah.
What he used to do, it wasn't flamboyant, it wasn't trickery, it was nothing amazing, but it was that, you know, players like Kante, players like him, players like Makaleli back in the day, they did all the donkey work, but what they did was they moved the ball forward quicker. And the problem we've got is that even if Alvarez does break it down and move it quick to Guido Rodriguez, he's then slow on the ball. And then he gives it to Soler, who seems slow on the ball. We've got too many.
We can't progress. We can't progress up the fucking field through the middle.
No,
we can't
progress up the field. Exactly that.
I mean, the thing is, it's like we've all played football, and if you're going to do that, if you're going to play it from the back, you need players that can play on a half turn, players that can fucking get the ball, turn, and fucking go. Whereas when you've got someone like Souček, for instance, Souček can't. He hasn't got the ability. When he receives the ball, that ball is coming back. It's going back where it came from. He will never turn with the ball. So you need players that are a little bit more fucking fluid and dynamic there. They've got to be. They've got to have more ability in midfield.
Mick, did you play football? Mick, did you play football?
No, I kept on. They put me in goal.
No, they didn't.
No, I saw you doing a TV interview the other day. I saw you doing a TV interview the other day.
Go on, put it up. Wait, what?
There you are on the right.
Where? Oh, you got the stand.
You got the stand.
Ah, that's a good one, John. Fuck off.
Sorry, Mick. Sorry. No, it does stem from the centre midfield, and what's happening is Alvarez is getting a lot of the stick for it, and he's frustrated, and he's getting sent off, and he's being hung out to dry a lot because of what's in front of him or what's around him, and it's going to be a problem. Alvarez is good, but he's not Declan Rice. He can't do 2-3 men's job, and Declan Rice at times often did that, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. And the midfield, or what's in front of them.
I think we saw that, didn't we? You know, like I don't think there's many midfielders that have got the ability to carry Souček the way that Declan Rice did, and he did carry him, didn't he? Fucking hell, did he?
He did. So the back four, you know, Todibo and Kilman are a good centre back pairing in my mind, but they're being overrun, so that makes them look rubbish. It makes them look shit all of a sudden, and they're not.
I do think that there is a good chance. I mean, here's another thing. Just say they do make a change. They do make a change. Do you expect? Have you got enough faith in the players that we've got? Do you think that we'll improve? Is what I'm saying to you. Do you actually think that we'd get that new manager bounce? That the players would be motivated, or does it all depend on the type of bloke that we get into it? Kind of. I think we need more of a man manager, John, to come in now. I think we need someone to come in and someone who can make them happy, almost.
Yeah, I mean, look, the players don't look happy. That's the worrying thing to me.
No.
You know, all this rumours. We don't know for sure. But has he lost the dressing room? Has he alienated people? But I don't think there's any. You know, it can't be a coincidence that you've got Kudus, who looks absolutely fucking livid. You've got Alvarez, who's losing his head and getting sent off twice already this season. Bowen don't look particularly happy. Paqueta don't look happy, but that's probably a lot to do with the off the field stuff.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. There is an issue there. So if you're going to bring someone in, that manager needs personality, and that manager needs man management skills, not just tactics, but he needs to be able to lift play. He needs a bit of energy around him.
Yeah, I don't think that this group almost need, because apparently he's a real hard taskmaster. He's not easy to talk to, not just because of the language barrier. Apparently he's an old-fashioned manager. He's a bit of a dick. And I don't think, and I haven't got an issue with that. If you've got a really successful team that are functional, I ain't got a problem with that. I just feel like this is like you know, a Ben Rama squad situation where Moyes was no good with him. I feel like we've got a squad that needs an arm around them to sort of cheer. Do you know what I mean? Just sort of make it a better place to fucking be. You've got all these people that want to leave.
Even if he was an hard case manager, you'd still, if you believed in the system and believed in his work, you'd still follow it. But there's obviously something that they don't believe in, and you can see it on the pitch. Not just the players themselves, but the formation, the way we play. It's actually terrible. Like, it's genuinely terrible. I had people messaging me saying, and it wasn't for banter, it was just genuine, that West Ham are the worst team in the Premier League to watch this season. I can't disagree.
In terms of a team, we are the worst team, but what we've got that these other teams haven't got below us is we've got the star players that can get us out of trouble. You have got your Bowens, you've got your Canuses. But I'll tell you what, when you look at the league, so I'm not going to put it up on the screen because I can't be asked. But when you look at the league table, when you look where we are, I almost feel like we're where we should be when I look at the teams that are above us. So you've got Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, top four. You've got Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Man United above us. Are we better than any of them teams?
No.
On paper, some of them, but not in reality, no.
We're not, are we? So below us. So what you got to look at, I suppose, if you split it into two tables, below us, you've got Leicester, Everton, Ipswich, Palace, Wolves, and Southampton. That's our league, isn't it? That's our league table.
Best of the rest, in a way. Best of the rest.
That's our league table. So I do feel like 14th is probably the best that we can hope for this year.
But you wouldn't have said that at the start of the season, would you?
You wouldn't, but based on what we're seing now, which is a reality, that was a fantasy at the start of the season. You know, when things look good on paper versus now what we've seen on grass, it looks shit. It looks shit. So, I don't know. I'm sort of looking at that table thinking that's probably it, you know. Hopefully, I do think that we're clearly better than Leicester. Everton might sort of push on a little bit. You know, they could do, but they look shit as well, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's the problem, though. If we don't get relegated, that means we're relying on them teams being shitter. If they have a spat, but you know when people say like, "Oh, we've got Arsenal and Newcastle," and be like, just like West Ham to get a result from that. I don't feel that way under this manager. I really don't. Like
he ain't an escape artist. This one, I don't think he's an escape artist.
No, he ain't. I think he's.
I think what Mickey's saying is you don't even have faith in him to pull a big result out of the bag.
No,
I don't know, John. Do you even feel like?
No. He's not motivating me. He's not motivating me. I mean, look, it's very early. Yes, there's only a few games in. Blah blah blah. And I've got to say, these international breaks are doing my fucking head in already. But anyway, but he just doesn't motivate you. I thought he would have a bit more about him. I thought he would have a bit more charisma. You know, he speaks all these languages.
He's got nothing. I can't even listen to him, John. I can't even listen to him. His interviews are so boring. He says, "Fuck."
I'll be honest with you. I know we used to have a lot of stick for Moyes in his interviews, but at least he gave you something to talk about. Lopetegui.
At least he made an effort to make an excuse up. Do you know what I mean? This cunt don't do anything. Mate, do you know what he does? Honestly, I swear he can understand English. But when somebody asks him an awkward question, he goes, "What? What?"
He goes,
I don't understand that.
Yeah. He looks at his interpreter and goes,
I was looking at some of the run-ins because obviously the teams that we're going up against, like I just said, Wolves are in there. Wolves are currently third from bottom. But they've played well all year. They just haven't got the results. Now, they beat Southampton last time out. Well, their run of fixtures coming up because they've had a right bastard start to the season.
Yeah,
They've got Fulham, they've got Bournemouth, they've got Everton, they've got us, they've got Ipswich and Leicester. That's their next 6 games. They could fucking swing around. They'll be above us in no time. So I mean,
it could quite easily swing around. Of course, it could. Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
I think they've got a manager that the players play for him, and they've got.
They ain't been playing bad. They ain't been playing bad at all.
No, they've been quite unlucky. They've been quite unlucky. Yeah.
So,
and as you said, their run of fixtures has been poor, and they've got to say nice. There's no really nice run, but as nice as it can be for a Premier League run, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a little run. I've got no faith in us going on any run. I really ain't.
I mean, when I watch Ipswich, I mean, I look at Ipswich and think they play all right football. They're not a bad little side.
Surprising they done Spurs, isn't it? No, but they actually done Spurs. They outplayed Spurs. They literally beat them off the park.
Ipswich defence is quite bad.
But in that one, because I don't think they've got a shit manager. I think he got exposed against us. I think that was like welcome to the Premier League. And with those two central midfielders were awful. If you watch that Spurs game, mate, he played completely different in that one. It was like he switched on. He it was almost like.
Told you, it's John Kamay.
Yeah, John Kamay. But he says, happy to be relegated if it means. But would you do that if it meant Sullivan and Brady going?
Right, but hold on. Someone put the comment, and it's what I wanted to say when you asked that question. How long for the question to be answered? How long do we have to be relegated for?
No.
No, that's not. I don't care.
No, it's a roll the dice. No, it's a roll the dice one. So the question was that I asked.
Why are you, Nick? How old are you, Mick? Nick? How old are you, Mick? Again, 40.
Right, you do know.
No, I can't remember. I'm not being facetious. Like, you're the same age as me and Nick. Why are you so obsessed with the Premier League? Like, why are you so obsessed with it? What is it about it you love?
I just love being in the. I love being in the Premier League. Like I said, I think it's where he's at. I don't know. I think whether it's a status thing or something. I enjoy it.
I think it is. I
enjoy being a Premier. Yeah, probably is. I enjoy the Premier League football more than I do a Championship football. I really do.
Yeah, but what about Mickey? Let me give you an example of 2 seasons. Right, 2 seasons. Would you rather a season like this in the Premier League, or would you rather a season in the Championship where you're battering everyone and you're fucking top of the league and you could get promoted again? What would be more fun?
Oh, of course it'd be fun. 100%. But why do the two got to be exclusive to each other? We said that he's back Moyes. Remember the Moyes argument and that?
No, but what I'm saying is,
or letting goals in.
Listen, I think there's so many.
Calm down.
But there's so many facets.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting agitated.
But there's so many facets to it. There's like if we were to get relegated, which we're not going to, we've already clarified that we're not. But if we were, you'd have things like youth players would get, because last time we got relegated, we started using our youth players. So there's a lot of things that. Oh fuck! There's a lot. There's a. I don't know. I just feel like it's so toxic in that fucking club, and I'll do anything to clean it up.
I get it, and I do understand why people say that. But everyone's got their own personal preference. My personal preference is I don't want to go down in the Championship. I want to stay in the Premier League.
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care, to be honest, at this stage. I wouldn't care. Wouldn't bother me. But anyway, look, gentlemen, we're going to call it a night now because it is late, and I'm actually dying. I mean,
Premier League.
Go and blow it. I think we've done this as long as we can. There's no bugger all to talk about. So thank you everyone for watching us. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah,
cheers. Go on, you irons.